On the Massey Ferguson Tower front, I mean, I was one of those that was there, when we demolished it. I still have the dust in my clothes.
I was just going to say that, you're still coughing.
But I thought there were plans, or at least there was an idea, that they were going to build a new school, and that school was going to be named in some way to reflect on the sort of the past glory of the Massey Ferguson factory. One of your previous callers said, it's done, it's gone. I couldn't quite remember the exact words.
Yeah.
Perhaps we should ask ourselves why. In previous years, we used to have a government that used to support, to some extent, some of our Coventry manufacturing, and that, under European procurement rules, is difficult, if not impossible. Anyone remember Peugeot? Anyone remember why they moved out of Brighton and Dunsmore?
One thing is certain, as you've touched on earlier, the final choice in the selection will be for a man who will have a considerable amount of power, that will no doubt shape future events on this planet. God bless America, they sure need it. To be said in an American accent. That's from Mark Taylor, the UKIP bloke from Coventry. So thank you, Mark, the UKIP bloke. Yeah, remember you well.
I'm doing this because I want to, because a broadcaster has invited me on occasionally, and I'm simply suggesting you could do this. Why not phone in and contribute to debate? OK, sometimes the audiences may be small, but we need to get our point across, and the media do want to hear our views. Some of you are doing this already. Don't be afraid of the media.
A big turnout in America of the young voter, and most of them went for Obama. They embraced him, and quite a big turnout of very young voters.
Yes, and that's good, isn't it? That's really promising, and I'd like to see that in this country. And here's hoping in the... For example, the forthcoming police crime commissioner elections, we see that, although actually I'm not sure we will.
On 96.2 FM and online at mytouchfm.co.uk. This is Touch FM News.
A Coventry politician who's opposing plans for a high-speed railway near the city says the meeting people behind the scenes has failed to change his mind. One-time parliamentary hopeful Mark Taylor went to yesterday's HS2 Information Day in Kenilworth. HS2 Limited says it's committed to talking to all the people affected by the line, but Mr Taylor says we still don't know how the project will affect them.
People have gone away thinking we don't know much more, and they're very disappointed in the response they've heard. In a sense, HS2 have shot themselves in the foot.
I was invited to the opening of a food bank centre in Coventry. I sat down for a few hours chatting with some lovely folk, telling me all their issues, and this guy looked at me and said, "All right, mate, you're off the telly. I saw you talking about that newfangled high-speed train. You reckon we shouldn't be paying for it, and we should be giving the money on poor folk like me. You said UKIP has, what do you call it, a fat tax policy?" No, flat tax policy. I said, whatever he said, the point is, he said, I should be able to earn more before I start paying tax. Yes, I answered, UKIP policy. Good, he said. I voted for you lot because I reckon, I'm sick of these here coalition millionaires ignoring me. I reckon you lot will stand up for us. People listen. People do listen to us. Our policies and ideas do resonate with the public. Don't misunderestimate that. What we say is being heard, it is understood, and it is appreciated. We are gaining respect, and we are gaining votes.
Email adrian.goldberg@bbc.co.uk. Let's speak to Mark. Hello, Mark.
Hello, Adrian.
Hello, mate. You got a thought about Christmas ads, or the Asda ad, and Nadine as well, yeah?
Yeah, a couple of things. Firstly, I'm multitasking. I'm having a cup of coffee and talking to you. So
well, there you go. Who said men can't multitask?
Exactly. We can indeed, yeah. I mean, firstly, it strikes me this morning you've had just about every political representation on this morning. So perhaps if you just let me give my views as a UKIP activist. I'm currently going round trying to make people aware of our candidates standing in the forthcoming police and crime commissioner elections. But interestingly, when I go to the doorstep, this issue over Nadine is coming up, and people are angry. They see that she's out of touch.
This is being raised at the on the doorstep with you,
it's just starting to come out now. There will be many families, indeed many mums this Christmas, who may be reflecting over their last year as a year of hard work and difficulties, with many families coping with wage restrictions, cuts in benefits, whatever. Some people will have perhaps lost their job listening to this programme, and they will look at this Nadine issue and say, well, I can't do that. I can't take time off to go and work on a little TV jolly. Yes, hello, Juliet and Nigel. I have to say, I feel like one of those little aliens. If anybody can remember one of the old TV adverts where we had certain aliens who were chuckling away at a certain smashed potato product. And I feel like that when it comes to the EU.
It's a lovely image, Mark.
Yeah, the idea that the EU are instigators of peace. You know, you only have to scan any European satellite channel, doesn't matter, Euronews, Russia TV, Press TV, you see the turmoil, the riots. And I just think for them to say that they have brought about peace for the last 3 years is a joke. You know, look at the impact of EU membership on some countries. Nigel's touched on this already. A certain German leader, Mrs. Merkel, having influence on another country's leadership, having influence on fiscal policy of Greece. The end result is the Greek Parliament and leadership being affected, dismissed. How can one person like that affect other countries? It's partly because of EU membership.
Well, you're right. You're right. And actually, Mark, think about it. I mean, if we'd had this conversation 5 years ago, on air, with Julia, and if we'd said that the EU would become so dangerous they would even remove elected prime ministers in Greece and Italy, everybody out there would have thought, my God, these chaps, what on earth have they been drinking at lunchtime? It's happened. It's happened.
I want to speak about a party that will keep us safe. A party that will maintain law and order. A party that will let our police do what they need to do, restore our armed services to a more appropriate level, not pay for India's navy. I want to tell people how our party will free businesses from damaging over-regulation and how we will bring government back to where it belongs, with the people. And finally, I want to shout about a party that will look after those in need, look after the young and the old. And more than anything, I want every decision about how this country is run to be made by elected representation in Westminster, not Europe, because I'm not European, I can't even say it right, I'm British. Just finally, all this, and obviously much more, is worth talking about. I say again, what we say is being heard and understood. Please, phone in and get the UKIP message heard. Thank you.